Oh, what's going on, guys?
All right, Coach. We'll jump into this thing. Let's
Yeah.
start off with Jim Hill.
Hey, Jim. Jim's on mute again.
He's working on it. He's going to get it.
Yeah.
Now, Coach.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, you can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. First of all, congratulations. And this is a two-part question, Coach. When you're going through the difficult times, how important are fundamentals to the game? And also, what did your team learn from yesterday that will help them in the future because you knew they could do what they did yesterday?
Well, I think, Jim, when you're under pressure, when you're going through those rough patches, your fundamentals, your technique is very important because when you're trying to perform and execute and win, usually the team that execute the best are teams that has the best fundamentals and techniques. So that's extremely important. But yesterday, it was just good to see this team battle and finish a game. What I like about it was in the fourth quarter, we finished the game. Defense got the stops we needed, and offense finished the game on the field, okay, in a 4-minute drill. So that was good to see.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Let's go to Jeff Miller.
Hey, Anthony. It didn't prevent you guys from scoring and getting up early, but it looked like, and tell me if I'm wrong, it looked like Justin was a little bit off with some of his early throws. Is that accurate when you watch the tape or no?
Yeah, I mean, it was accurate. The first half, the completion percentage wasn't what, we like for it to be. But what I liked, though, Jeff, was that young man found different ways to move the ball and extend plays. He has, I think, 66 yards rushing yesterday. There were times he came out of the pocket when he had to extend the drive. And so to me, that was growth.
And you guys defensively didn't give them anything until that drive in the second quarter when suddenly they just rolled right down the field. What happened exactly on that drive?
Well, that started with an explosive play. Those two drives in the fourth quarter both had explosive plays, and it gave them some momentum. That's a professional football team. We knew they were going to compete and fight back. And, they moved the ball down the field, and we did not help ourselves with a couple of unnecessary roughness penalties as well.
And,
Can I hear you?
Oh, I'm sorry. The two penalties, did you the one I never saw a real replay of Jerry's. Were they good calls, and were they?
Oh, they were good calls. Those are calls that are going to be called every single time. Jerry Tillery's, his penalty was really an aggressive one, but they're going to call that 10 out of 10 times. And Denzel's was not smart. That was stupid.
Okay, and then the replays, it did not look very good with Virgil. Do you have an update on his leg?
I know that ankle swelled last night. It's pretty big. I don't know what the final results are, but it doesn't look like he's going to be back anytime soon, though.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
All right, let's go to Ken Belson.
Thank you, Coach. Two questions related on Justin Herbert. The trend has been towards smaller, more mobile quarterbacks. He's one of the tallest taken in the draft. So what did you see in him that made you comfortable there? He's almost like a John Elway in size and composure. And then secondly, what is he in terms of reading defenses? How has that improved over the last 5 weeks?
The thing about Justin was, his size and his arm strength. That was the thing that stood out the most to everyone when we were evaluating him. But the thing that caught my eye was his ability to move. For a man that is 6'6", he's very nimble. And so in today's NFL, with the speed of defenses, that's pretty important. So a guy that could do both, throw from the pocket and move and extend plays, that's a pretty unique skill set to me. His ability to read coverages, I think is growing every single week. He's getting better. We're trying to simplify things, though. We're giving him half-field reads, pure progression reads, but now we're putting more on his plate every single week. Yesterday, I thought Jacksonville did a good job in the first half of disguising coverages and mixing it more so than they had in the past. So he survived that, and I thought he did fine.
Thank you.
Sure.
Paul.
Hey, Coach. Do you expect Virgil to go on IR?
I don't know, Pop. Once we get the images and we'll see how serious it is. Virgil is a key member of that offense. He's one of our better blockers. If he can go in 2-3 weeks, I like to have him around, but have to wait and see what the images look like.
And then just after watching the tape, what was your assessment of the tackling overall? Obviously, there were some missed tackles, but just your overall assessment of the tackling.
Well, in the secondary, it wasn't very good. I think it showed, at times. And we made that young man look like Earl Campbell at times. But it's got to get better, and I believe it will. I think we just didn't know that we weren't that familiar with that running back, and we underestimated him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, just as far as sort of what went wrong there, because typically you guys are a good tackling team, especially gang tackling. You just think you sort of overlooked him just because he's an undrafted guy, more unknown?
He was more powerful than I thought, and he had a heck of a stiff arm. So he did a good job. He ran hard. He created yak. I give him credit, but we have to do a better job of tackling.
And then just with the special teams issues, not badly, but just, you've had a couple block punts this year and the coverage on punts hasn't been great. How much of that is just the fact that you guys lost a lot of key special teams contributors, whether it's Derek Watt, Adrian Phillips, Nick DeZubner, and then Drew Tranquil was obviously a great special teams guy that's on IR. How big of a factor is that?
Well, I tell you, that was my biggest concern because it's a different unit and not having a preseason to look at these guys and evaluate these guys, but we can't use that as an excuse. It's time for some of these guys to step up and take control of these special teams, but those guys were good players. Drew Tranquil, he's gone. Rayshawn Jenkins was a 3-core special teams guy. Austin Eckler, those guys are starters for us now. And then you got Pro Bowler Derek Watt, Adrian Phillips, Jatavius Brown. That's a really good group right there. We don't have those guys now, so we're looking for other players to step up and replace those men. And right now, it's just not good enough. And George Stewart would be the first one to tell you, that's got to get better.
That's what I was going to follow up with. Is it an execution thing for the players, or does George Stewart, as a special teams coordinator, also need to improve in terms of his coaching?
Well, we all need to improve. I mean, everybody on this staff, we're 2-4 right now. That's our goal, to come there every single week and get better. But we don't go out and we don't protect punts, and we don't go out and tackle. Our players have to execute and perform.
And then just as far as getting the running game kick-started, I mean, obviously you guys threw a lot at the wall yesterday between, the zone reads, the fly sweeps, even as like a little wildcat. Yeah. How do you get the backs going in the running game though? And how much can, I guess, Justin do as far as making checks to the line, and as he grows maybe in his ability to make decisions at the line of scrimmage, sort of affect the running game and maybe get it kick-started?
Well, I tell you, there's been a fine line there because the running game is, to get us in the right play. Sometimes I would send a quarterback like Phillip Rivers would go to the line of scrimmage with 3 different plays and get us into the right ones. Well, it's hard to do that with a rookie quarterback. And you don't want to put that much on his plate because you want him to go and play and not think so much. But as the week goes on, he will get more of that on his plate to get us in and out of plays and get us into the right place. But right now, I think he's doing fine. We got to do better with what we have. Yesterday, we had to create a little bit in the running game. I knew it was going to be tough. We threw some quick passes. We used a lot of those speed sweep deals. We brought stick in. We threw a lot of stuff at them just to kind of get them on the heels and off the toes a little bit.
Thanks, Anthony.
Sure.
Gilbert.
Hey, Anthony, you mentioned Virgil Green's a great blocker. Who do you think between Steven Anderson and Parham is better suited for that role?
They're both going to get a shot. Gilbert, Donald's going to step up and play. He's been coming in, being that red zone guy, but now he's going to step up and play, and I believe he can get it done.
Has Donald improved in that blocking area?
I thought he did a fine job in training camp, blocking, especially in his pass protection.
And Anthony, just curious, any update on Coach Phil? How's he doing, and how's his family doing?
We talk 3 or 4 times a week, and he's doing great, and his family's doing good too.
Do you think he'll be back anytime soon?
We'll see.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
No problem.
Joe Reedy.
Anthony, as far as the post-mortem on the block punches, what did you guys see on the film and reviewing it?
Left guard's got to stay with this guy. He went on the man protection scheme. It's his own blocking scheme, and we just have to be disciplined in our sets.
Okay. And then on the touchdown passes to Green and Parham, you guys really took advantage of that matchup with their linebackers, and particularly Joe Schobert. Was that maybe one of the more favorable tight end linebacker matchups you guys have had all year?
It I believe, I can't say all year, but it wasn't in that game. It was a good matchup. We feel like we could get Virgil out the back door and get him on a linebacker, and we know Virgil can outrun linebackers, and he did. He scored, and we got Donald running down the seam with the linebacker that's carrying it, and we knew that if we get him the ball up on the top shelf, it's a 6'9" man. It's gonna be hard to stop him. So I thought Justin threw a hell of a ball right there to Donald.
And then I hate to ask, but will you be bringing any kickers in tomorrow, or are you going to be patient another week with Badgley?
Nope. We all the confidence in the world in Mike right now.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Fernando.
Anthony, can you talk about the resiliency of this team yesterday? I mean, it's like you said, they could have gone, oh, here we go again, but they ended up stepping up and leadership stepped up, and you guys were able to pull through and get the victory.
Yeah, that was good to see, and that's what I wanted to see. I'd rather see that than just, like I said, a blowout, because it's something that we hadn't done. And we had some adversity in that third quarter, and we bounced back and took the lead in the fourth quarter. And both sides of the ball, all three phases stepped up. Special teams created a turnover, and offense capitalized off of that, and defense got a couple stops. It was good to see.
And then you talked about how Herbert was able to find a way. He was struggling at the beginning, but able to find his way back and make plays. Do you feel like that really is what separates good quarterbacks from – I don't want to call him a great quarterback, but just the ability to, even though you're struggling, to find a way out of it and still being able to make plays?
Well, I know that's what – I know, and from my experience, that's what the great ones are able to do. I've been with quarterbacks with half of Justin's potential. But they find ways to win. And to me, they're playing that position. That's what it's all about, is finding ways to win.
And then, Anthony, this week you guys face your former running back in Melvin Gordon and the Denver Broncos. Can you just talk about what it's like to go up against Melvin? And you've seen before him truck opposing defense, and now your defense is going to be the one that goes up against him on Sunday.
Well, I have no idea what it's like to go up against him, because he's always been my back. But I'm sure he's going to be motivated, and our guys will too. It'll be a good competition there between those guys. But we're going to have to get hats to the ball. We know that young man can create momentum for his team, because when he was here, I go back to that San Francisco game. We were a little flat, and he broke about 8 tackles, and the whole sideline exploded and got our team going. But so we're going to have to get hats to the ball to get him on the ground. I look forward to playing against him.
Thank you, Anthony.
Sure.
Emmanuel.
Coach, with Jaylen Gideon and then Tyron Johnson and Joe Reed, what's your philosophy, kind of like subbing them in and out to get the player you want in?
We those two guys are two of the fastest guys on our football team, and so we get them in for Mike and Keenan every now and then. But we have plays, run actions down the field, and comebacks, and we just try to get those guys involved. We don't want to just send them in on special plays. We try to get them involved into the flow of the game. But sometimes that plays out the way we like, sometimes it doesn't. But Tyron didn't get as many reps yesterday, but Guyton got a few more.
For sure. How have you seen them grow since training camp till now?
You know what? These guys, you can see it last year on the practice squad. These young men were coming along. They're very skillful athletes, and we knew that. We just had to refine some things. And I like the way our offensive coaches are using those guys right now. I think they're going to have good careers in this league.
Sure. Thank you.
Sure.
A couple more, Coach. Back to Pop.
Hey, Anthony, one I forgot to ask earlier, Casey Hayward has obviously been a staple in this defense since you got here, and he's played at a really high level the last 3 years. But what have you seen from him so far this season?
Just I don't want to say typical Casey, because the ball's gone over his head a few times this year, and that's not typical Casey. But other than that, he's been pretty consistent. He's a smart player. He's good at the top of the route. He has good ball skills, and and he's most of the time a sure tackler. Yesterday, you didn't see that consistently, but for the most part, that's what he does.
Those missed tackles that he had on the edge, do you factor that back into what we were talking about earlier, just sort of underestimating sort of the strength of James Robinson?
I think so, because he thought at one point he was going to pushed the guy out of bounds, and the guy maintained his balance and dove and scored a touchdown. Just things like that. You normally don't see from Casey, and but we just have to be better there.
Thanks.
Sure.
All right, last one goes to Joe Reedy. Joe, go ahead.
Anthony, Tyrod was a full participant in practice all week, but was inactive yesterday. Was that because there was a package of plays with Easton that you wanted to run, or is there something kind of beyond your control as far as the NFLPA investigation and stuff that he can't play at the moment?
No, there's no, not that I know of, Joe. Tyrod, I'm giving him all 6 weeks to come back from that rib injury. And this is the 6th week. We'll see how he look in practice this week and see how he feels. And then we'll see what the doctors are saying. We'll go from there.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you.